Now on to some really interesting news here. I had to bring this up because when I saw this, I was like, wow, did he really say that? Oh, yes. Yes, he really did. There you go. From Entertainment Weekly. The Simpsons showrunner would be, quote, shocked if Universal lost theme park rights. Quote, it would destroy them.
Yeah, sure it would.
Wait, what? Yes, this is Matt Selman, showrunner for The Simpsons, tells Entertainment Weekly. This is by Wesley Stenzel, October 5th, 2025. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here and get to his comments as part of this article. Quote, I would be personally shocked if The Simpsons did not continue at Universal, the series co-showrunner says, noting, I don't have any inside information, so I'm just a fan. This is not an official announcement. I'm not party to those negotiations. And then later on, he actually says this. He says, speaking for the Southern California location, Selman can't even fathom what could possibly replace Springfield. Quote, think about it. What would they put there, he asks. They'd have to close it, shut it down for what, 2 years, and build another area right in the middle of Universal. I was just there. They're building a giant Fast and Furious outdoor roller coaster right there, and they just built all this Mario stuff. Like, how would they? It would destroy them, he says. And I'm just...
He has no self-interest whatsoever because as long as it's there, it's still theoretically building an audience for him to make more Simpsons, right?
I guess.
No personal interest involved at all. No, of course not. By the way, we were talking about The Simpsons on the Pro Show, and we were thinking, how old is it? I looked it up. It started on Tracy Ullman in 1987. Whoa. That's a long-in-the-tooth IP if ever I saw one. And
it's been out
destroy
there
them, I tell you. Destroy them! Yeah, we can't serve chicken nuggets and burgers under any other franchise, can we?
Does it really take Universal 2 years to just redo a land? I don't think so.
I mean,
it might, but 2 years as opposed to 6 or 7 at Disney is speedy.
That's very true, actually.
Area is tacky. I've never liked it. I just thought it was aesthetically ugly for a theme park.
It tried hard to be tacky, and it tried a little too hard.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point there, Lou. It's definitely parody filled for sure. MJ, I know you guys over there in Florida have a Springfield kind of equivalent for Universal Studios Florida out there, taking up their Back to the Future area as well, and also the accompanying areas around there. Have you had a real strong connection to this place? And in fact, so strong that it would destroy them if it wasn't there?
I can't wait for them to rip it out, and I can't wait to see what
you want to destroy it, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I do. I'm sorry. I'm with Erika. It's ugly. It's not aesthetically pleasing. It looks cheesy, and it's just like when you're there in person, it's almost like you feel like, I don't know, it's not Universal quality. You walk into Diagon Alley, and it's like, oh my, breathtaking. It's so cool and immersive, and this Sims Land, it's like, okay, we got to walk through this. Let's just get through it. They put me on the ride a couple times. I wasn't crazy about it. And I was like, I don't even eat the food from this area. It doesn't intrigue me. I can't wait to see what's going to be replaced. I'm sorry for the people that love it, but I don't.
Hey, no, I for Universal Studios Florida, I walk through it and be like, okay, well, this is how we get to Diagon Alley the long way, or we go to Men in Black Alien Attack. It's not somewhere I stop.
You're trying to say it's underutilized?
Underutilized right
what about
there.
the shape language? There's shape language there.
Yeah, there's a lot of shape language. That's true, but none of the shapes I'm particularly fond of. Well. Erika, I'll go to you real fast. It seems we have kind of the similar opinion here. Even for like the ride, does it make you emotion sick? Does it?
It looks like it. I've been on it on YouTube and I've seen the mechanics and how it works. Yeah, it would absolutely make me sick. Even Raph has said I don't think I could handle that ride. So we wouldn't even bother going on it. I have no interest in going on it either.
The Back to the Future ride
must be relatively tame because it's not on that list of new and improved instructions to people who have problems, right?
No, it's not.
Because Vash, you mentioned the Back to the Future ride. I usually don't get sick on simulators. I actually enjoy them quite a bit. But when Raph and I were dating, we went on the Back to the Future ride way back. And we both walked out of there feeling nauseated. And as much as we love Back to the Future, that was an attraction that was kind of bittersweet to see it go.
Yeah.
And then this one coming on scene, it reminds me of Back to the Future. It's that constant, and I don't know, it's something in the motion that's, I don't know what it is compared to like Star Tour. I can do Star Tours just fine. I think it's fun. I don't know if it's just maybe put together better. Maybe the flow. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I can handle Star Tours just fine.
Star Tours, by the way, is more intense than you might know. I remember going on Star Tours right after it first opened, and the guy I was standing in line with and rode it with me ran the flight simulator at the real Top Gun. And he told me that their simulator at Top Gun was a 15-degree motion base, and this one was 35.
Oh,
so
that's really interesting.
Maybe it's the length of time. Maybe
35
the Back to the Future was longer because it seemed like it was longer. Like it got to a point where I was just like, okay, we get it. Can we get off the ride now? It just kind of kept going, and it felt like the film wasn't going to stop.
So that's the thing. So Star Tours is interesting because that midpoint where you have the character interaction there and like your right vehicle kind of stops, that is actually there to recharge the system. And I do wonder if between those breakpoints, because there is a break in between, there's not as much motion for as long. Whereas Back to the Future, I don't think had that midpoint where you just stopped.
It kept going.
Recharged.
And
it
was just
kind of like improved technology. It's not always a good thing, right?
Indeed. Now, there's some interesting factoids I want to go ahead and point out about Springfield right here. It's very interesting. So it's one of the first like dual use kitchens that Universal's ever done, in which you have like Krusty Burger on one side and then literally there's 3 broomsticks on the other, but they use the same kitchen, which is very interesting. It's a nice use of space, at least for Hollywood, which is so space confined right there. And also too at so the Back to the Future structure that now Krusty Land or the Simpsons ride actually inhabits today. At least at Hollywood, there's been some issues in which they've seen that might mandate actually the complete removal of that building, no matter if they have an IP to replace it or not, because it was built on the side of a hill and or a mountain, I should say. And that has become a kind of a point of contention, at least with engineers and people who have looked at it and gone, we got to close this up eventually right there. So that's not good. That's not great. And I think there have already been signs of like construction, like spray in some places, construction markers and so forth, that says to a lot of fans that maybe this is already on the way to removal. We know for a fact that the rights for Simpsons, as they are held with Universal right now for their parks, that goes away in 2028. That's a hard cutoff. And so I think that's why this specific showrunner might have been asked about this, because I think people know that date is coming up.
Once the coaster gets up and running, then they have room to do this, to get rid of it.
I hope exactly. In Disney World, please, God.
Disney World hasn't got the money or the space or the time or the whatever to even bother.
Some people have talked about, like, does The Simpsons make its way into Walt Disney World or Disneyland as the rights revert back from Universal? Because I don't think Disney, I mean, Disney's not going to want to go into a long-term deal for The Simpsons for Universal to have them. So it's like, okay, well, do we put that franchise in those parks? I don't know if we do. Some people have been theorizing that that's where these things are going. I'm not quite sure about that, but look, outside
if it's ever anything more than a character meet and greet someplace, I would be surprised.
Right, exactly, and that's historically what it's in the past.
Lou, earlier you mentioned, Lou, about the warning signs. Maybe you meant it as a joke for the Simpsons ride, but even when it was Back to the Future, and now that it's the Simpsons, when we rode, there were signs everywhere. If you have neck problems, back problems, all kinds of warnings, like you will not believe. But I did I did see a pregnant lady get on.
No, what I was referring to is, in the light of the death at Stardust Racers, they've issued a new set of guidelines that they're applying to. How many attractions total at Universal in Florida?
5.5, but really 6. I say half because.
So I was just saying, the fact they didn't put this on that list tells you something about how intense or not it is.
Yeah. Historically, it hasn't been that intense, at least compared to other maybe simulator attractions like Forbidden Journey or Monsters Unchained, and even certain coasters.
Well, plus, since you sit down in what used to be the DeLorean and is now not,
right?
It's similar to the sidecar on Hagrid, not the motorcycle on Hagrid.
Correct.
The sidecar got a pass in those new deals. So anyway,
yeah, and the motorbike did not, which is very, very interesting. So in terms of an intense experience, really hasn't been that intense. But I will say the motion sickness, I think it does come up with this specific attraction. I'm not sure why. I think maybe also too, I think Star Tours has blowing air on you, whereas I don't think that's the case for either Simpsons or for the previous Back to the Future. So it's just, I find this a very interesting set of events right here. To think that they would be destroyed with that, I don't think so. But I will say the Lard Lad Donuts do really well. The Duff Beer does really well. Again, can you come up with an IP that makes up for those losses? I think you can. And when examining the Fast and the Furious artwork, originally when it came out, people were quick to know that The Simpsons was not part of that. So I think the idea has been brewing for some time.
You mean Fast and Furious food?
Yes. Here's the thing. The Simpsons might be leaving fast, but I don't think fans are going to be furious.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.